Hi, I'm Rhonda Jackson, and welcome to the Road to Recovery. I'm your host, serial entrepreneur, and small business advocate. And today, our guest is Amy Zimmerman, president of Amy Zimmerman and Associates. Welcome, Amy.
Thank you for having me. Nice
Oh,
to see
you're very
you.
welcome. You're very welcome. This road to recovery has had quite a few milestones and pit stops. And for a lot of us, we're about 90 days into this whole process. But one of the things I've admired about you over the years is that you are very good at creating opportunities. So I thank you for sharing and being here today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
You're welcome. Do you mind sharing a little bit about Amy Zimmerman and Associates, please?
Sure. I am a recruiter headhunter. We've been in business for April 1st. We celebrated 27 years in business. I
Okay.
personally have been recruiting for a little over 35. And we place, we're headhunters. I do have a temporary division that is very small and due to the pandemic is even smaller, but will grow. And we place anywhere from a $15 to an $18 receptionist to a $220,000 CFO.
Oh, wow.
So, and we are true headhunters. We go into other companies and take them out and put them into our clients' companies.
I understand. I understand. So you actually help with creating the infrastructure that companies need to attract and retain a very solid talent pool. So I get
Yeah, it's hard to find good people,
it.
and that's what we do.
Okay.
So someone tells us what they're looking for, and we find out what they need. And then we have a sourcer, and he goes and finds me companies and people that fit our parameters, and I
Okay.
pick up the phone and call them
All right.
and,
I love it.
and
I
make
love
a
it.
match.
So one of the other things I've been asking guests on the show is if they would share one word that they think kind of embodies where we are in the world today. What would be your one word?
Unprecedented.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, different. These are definitely different times. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to have the conversation with you today about a path to new opportunities, right? I know people are calling it the new normal. I've actually been calling it the next normal. So if we could kind of talk about what as a recruiter that you might look for in a potential candidate and then that process to get them to that new opportunity if you'll share today. Okay? All
Sure.
right. So can you tell us, so what's step one? What do I have to do? Or do I do anything?
Make yourself visible.
Okay.
Make sure that your LinkedIn profile is up to date and current, um, and put in all your bells and whistles. If you've had any promotions, if you've gotten an award. I see your award behind you. I have one of those too, somewhere around here, and uh, really, and stay with the company for 2 to 5 years.
Okay.
People that jump around every year. I had a woman, Sue Sonbach from Castle and Cook, very respectable company, Dole Foods, real estate, Rupert Murdoch. And she told me that people that leave their jobs and have a good excuse for leaving their job every year will have a good excuse for leaving her job in a year and won't hire them.
Right.
So stability is key. I think you need to stay places, and you need to not be stagnant in your career. They look at what kind of promotions have you had, and have a career path. Someone that's been in a job for 5 years and tells you that they can't get a promotion, there's a reason for that.
I understand.
And so that doesn't make you very attractive to another company.
So let me go down. So we've got, make yourself attractive, so you talked about the LinkedIn profile, updating the resume. There's a component of longevity. You said, your work history, you want something very stable,
Correct.
invest in time in it. And then can you talk a little bit more about that promotional quality? Like, so there's some, and I'm sure there are instances where the promotion is, maybe there's a glass ceiling, or maybe those positions are very long held and the person that's in the position that you would take or be promoted to is halfway through their career. How would you supplement or supplement for not having that as a badge?
Well, those are very valid, reasons. Those are reasons that people approach me sometimes without me approaching them.
Okay.
Is I'm at a glass ceiling. Or I talked to a gentleman the other day and he said, look, I'm 50. My boss is 45. He's not going anywhere.
Right.
It is time for me to make a move.
Okay.
So when I'm calling on people, those are, some of the things like, but coming from a recruiter, I tell my clients it is not appropriate for them to ask, why are you leaving your job? Because they probably weren't looking. They're
Got
only
it.
looking because it's a better opportunity,
Got it.
and that's what I'm reaching out to people to give them.
So what advice do you give clients when they're weighing out those opportunities? So you've approached me and, there's a position, once you've gotten to know me, that I'd be positioned for. What would be some of the valid or the better reasons for making that transition, or value add reasons?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
More money.
Okay.
It's really interesting. I had a woman just recently that I placed. She unfortunately just got laid off because it's in the entertainment world. But, in California, you can't legally ask how much money you're making. So, but we took her out to dinner afterwards, and the position paid $150,000. And I told her the position, and I didn't ask her what she was making. And we went out to dinner. I said, "Come on, how much were you making?" She was making $100,000.
Oh, wow.
And she got to 150. So the new law is based, it's for women and minorities that are being paid less. And so if you don't know, they pay for the position. So you're looking at, it's more money. Maybe it's closer to home. Maybe there's more growth potential. In construction, a project is winding down and they don't have anything in the pipeline. So I'm open to a new opportunity. In this environment, I'm finding people that are furloughed, and my clients are not furloughing. So if you're on a furlough, I'd rather work for somebody that's not going to furlough me. Yes. But it's also challenging. I had a 7-month temporary assignment.
Okay.
And when I was trying to find people, they were like furloughed, which means that, and this was in the beginning of March, I said, well, what if they call you back in 2 weeks or 2 months? Will you commit the 7-month assignment? And the answer was no, basically. So they were not a good candidate, and I was not able to find somebody. They did find somebody elsewhere, but maybe not somebody that cared enough that would make sure that they would make the 7-month commitment, that just wanted to make, do the business. And I just don't do business that way.
So speaking of commitment, is there a minimum or a maximum or a range of commitment? So you spoke earlier about not changing jobs every year, but staying 2 to 5. So once you've placed someone, what's the average commitment, or what are you telling clients to look for in staying at that position?
I ask them to make a 2 to 5 year commitment.
You do? Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. You asked that up front. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So then that's in relation to job stability. What about some of the generational gaps? Like, one of the things I was speaking to another guest to the show about was the fact that we've had to incorporate so much technology in our lives that there seems to be a leveling of the playing field between, where I'm going with this, between.
I'm 60. Yeah, I get it. I can't do Word. I don't have to.
Right.
I'm assistant, right. So, and a partner that's, it's like, okay, Geek Squad, please come into my office, so, because I can't figure out how to turn the volume up, those kind of things.
Right.
I've learned, you can learn. There is a difference. I just think that as far as technology, it is definitely a generational thing. 2-year-olds are better than I am on computers, because it's their race. And I just think, I don't think it matters. But then there are people that are older that are extremely technological. So I really don't think, it really just depends on you. I'm a salesperson. I'm not technologically, brilliant.
Okay. Well, 2 things. One is how we can get in touch with you if we know of someone or interested, or a company that would like to have someone like you on our team to help build our organization. And then 2, final words of wisdom to stand out on like a LinkedIn or, resume wise.
Okay. So it's Amy Zimmerman and Associates. It's 310-798-6979. I'm at extension 6901. My email is Amy, AMY, at AZA, as an apple, zebra, apple, staffing.com. And our website is www.azastaffing.com. You can go there, and really shows our recent placements, what we do, etc. And thank you for the plug. And to stand out on LinkedIn, I just really have things current. and don't be too cutesy. You know, these people, you know, and don't have too much. You know, you have your LinkedIn and there's a sentence that you can put. And when I see, like, you know, oh, chief bottle washer, or, you know, man of great intention, something like that, it's, you know, it just tell them who you are. You know, I'm a construction manager or a project manager in construction for a GC with tilt-up experience. You know, just really specific to what you are, because that way if people search you, they'll find you easier.
I got it. Okay, so kind of an SEO optimization kind of component.
Absolutely.
I love that. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you, Amy, for sharing with us today. I really, really appreciate your time. And I love the fact that we're creating opportunities and a path to them. So you as a resource is totally invaluable right now. And I appreciate you being on the show today. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rhonda.
You're very welcome.
All right.